The moment you tell a woman no for the first time is the moment she actually starts paying attention to you. Not because she's offended, because up until that point, she genuinely didn't know who she was talking to. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what shifts in her mind the second you draw a line, and why most men never see it happen because they never test it. Before we get into it, everything I'm about to break down, the psychology, the frameworks, the exact language to use, I put it all into one place, my ebook, Magnetic Masculinity. If you want the full system instead of just this one piece of it, the link's in the description. Okay, let's get into it. We're breaking down what really goes on in a woman's head when a man sets a boundary, the respect it triggers, the discomfort it can cause, and the one reaction that tells you everything about how she actually sees you. Number 1. The assumption. Most men get wrong. Most men think boundaries create distance, so they avoid them. They say yes when they mean no, they absorb the disrespect, they stay quiet to keep the peace. Here's the problem. Peace built on silence isn't peace, it's just delayed tension. Think about the last time someone let you walk all over them. Did it make you respect them more? Or did it make you wonder what else they'd let slide? That's exactly what happens in her mind too. When a man has no boundaries, she's not relieved. She's uneasy. Because somewhere underneath it, she's asking herself, if he won't protect his own time, his own values, his own peace, how is he going to protect mine? Boundaries aren't a wall, they're information. They tell her what you stand for, what you won't tolerate, and where the real you actually lives. Without them, she's not dating a person. She's dating a mirror that just agrees with whatever she says. And nobody, deep down, actually wants that. Number 2. The first boundary is a test, even if she doesn't plan it. Picture this. She cancels plans last minute for the second time. You say calmly, I get that things come up, but I need more notice next time. Otherwise, I can't keep holding the evening open. No anger, no lecture, just a clear line. In that exact moment, something happens in her mind that most men never anticipate. She recalibrates. Consciously or not, she's now asking, is this a man who has a life of his own, or one who was just waiting around for me to show up? Psychologists call this reactance, when someone reasserts their own value the instant they sense a limit. She may even push back a little, not because she's upset, but because she's testing whether the boundary is real or just a bluff. This is the part that trips people up. If you fold the second she pushes, she gets her answer, and it's the wrong one. If you stay calm and hold the line without punishing her for testing it, she gets a very different answer. This man means what he says. Number 3. Why discomfort isn't the same as disinterest. Here's the part almost nobody talks about. Sometimes when you set a boundary, she gets quiet, maybe even a little cold for a day or two. Men read that as rejection and immediately panic apologize, walking the boundary right back. But that reaction isn't rejection. It's recalibration discomfort. She's used to a version of you that bends. Now there's a version that doesn't, and her mind needs a moment to update the model. This is where attachment patterns show up. Someone with a more anxious attachment style might test the boundary repeatedly to see if it holds. Someone more avoidant might pull back briefly to regain a sense of control. Neither of those reactions means she's losing interest. In fact, in study after study on relationship dynamics, partners who set and maintain healthy boundaries are rated as more trustworthy and more attractive over time, not less. The short-term discomfort is often the price of long-term respect. But here's the boundary within the boundary. This only works if you're not punishing her when you set it. Calm and clear, not cold, not a power move, just true. Have you ever set a boundary and watched someone's whole attitude toward you change? Tell me what happened in the comments. I want to hear the real story. Number 4. The one reaction that reveals everything. Now here's where it gets interesting because there are really only 2 ways this plays out, and both tell you something you need to know. If she respects the boundary, even if she doesn't love it at first, and she adjusts her behavior over time, that's a person who's capable of real partnership. She's showing you she can hold space for someone else's needs, not just her own. That's rare, and it's worth noticing. But if she repeatedly disrespects the same boundary after you've clearly stated it, ignores it, or punishes you for having it at all. That's not a communication problem you can fix with the right words. That's a values mismatch. And this is the truth most relationship content won't say out loud. Boundaries aren't just about getting someone to treat you better. They're a filtering system. They sort the people who are willing to meet you halfway from the people who were only ever comfortable with a version of you that had no edges. Here's the real answer to what happens in her mind. A boundary forces a woman to make a decision she wasn't expecting to make. Does she respect you, or does she resent you for not being controllable anymore? There's no neutral outcome. Either the boundary raises your value in her eyes because it proves you have a self-worth respecting, or it exposes that she was only interested in the version of you with no limits. Both outcomes are useful. One shows you you're with someone worth building with. The other saves you years of wondering why the relationship always felt one-sided. Setting the boundary isn't the risk. Never setting one, and slowly disappearing inside the relationship, is the actual risk. If this changed how you think about boundaries, hit like. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people navigating the exact same thing you are. And if you've ever wondered why some people respect your limits instantly while others test them over and over, that's actually about a completely different psychological pattern. One I'm breaking down in the next video. Because the way someone reacts to your no will always tell you more about them than any conversation ever could.